position. Member of the team, MVP. Very strong Terran. Code S player currently. Will he stay in? He is.
MVP Kin.
Looking very focused.
Yeah. Down here at the 6 o'clock position. Member of the team, NS Hosa. Very strong Protoss. He is.
NS Hosa vanvanth.
Also known as the Count sometimes. And when I say he's a very strong Protoss, I mean that he has shown some awesome games in the past, but recently he has been slumping a little bit. I'm not saying that he's no longer a strong Protoss, it's just that he's been struggling and he's really going to try to prove himself here today because he needs to.
Yeah, he has a rough chance to get back into, or to get up to Code S. He's got to win all of his remaining matches now.
Yes.
So this match is going to be very pivotal for him to try to get Code S, the thing that every single StarCraft player is trying to attain. Just proof that you are one of the top 32 players in the world.
Gotta be S-class, man.
Yep. This probe is trying to be S-class as well, getting the scouting in, seeing that there's no refinery going on yet.
Man. He saw everything. Yep. Knows it's going to be a 1 barracks expand now. He even knows the Marines' timing. He saw the barracks mission. He's like, well, I can hang out here a little bit longer. I'll poke an SCV maybe.
Nicely, a supply depot is being made in behind the gas area of Keen, so you can scout any sort of drops that are happening. Because they're in closed air positions, the airplay that can happen from both players is very, very dangerous. So you need to be extra careful for that. The probe does know it can get out, so it stayed in exactly how long it could and then gets out safely.
Right now, Bomb on second gas is finishing up. He skipped the Zealot initially, then chrono boosted it. So he really wants that Zealot out. Looks like he wants to be aggressive now that he realizes it's going to be a 1 barracks expand.
Yeah, he also wants to try to chase this SCV out, but it's very difficult to do with just the Zealot. He needs that Stalker. With the SCV in the base, it's very difficult to go for any sort of hidden tech, so he can't go for any sort of Stargate opening without Keen seeing that and being able to defend against it easily.
Now, if Keen doesn't make a bunker at the top of his ramp, it's going to be very difficult for him to defend against any aggression.
Ooh, here comes the Twilight Council.
Yeah, there's a Twilight Council that Bonbon puts on. Now, remember, Bonbon's is on the same team as Tassadar, and Tassadar has been known to do Blink Stalker all-ins against this type of build, and he is really, really good at them. We may see something like that here. We could see a DT expand. Either is pretty much equally as likely.
Or we could see Zealot Charge coming out early.
Zealot Charge timing attack like pulls all the probes out of gas. I remember, I think it was Inca who tried that against Jinro. There was someone who did that like in one of the open seasons. They had this weird timing attack on Blistering Sands with charged Zealots, and it didn't work at all. And it is going to be a Dark Shrine.
Okay.
There it is.
He's trying to spread out his gateways again, making it difficult for the Terran player to scan exactly the number of gateways that come out. If you can see how many gateways are there, you know almost exactly the timing of when the Protoss is trying to hit you with whatever units he's making.
So, the Dark Shrine build, for a lot of you guys, I know a lot of you guys are still in this mindset, you should get out of it. With the Dark Shrine in PvT, it's not an all-in. It's not like, okay, well, he went DTs and he won, or he went DTs and it failed and he lost. It's an expansion-oriented build. It's like doing a 3-gate expand. It's a little bit later. It's a little bit different. But use the DTs to hold the expansion. The only time it really goes, everything goes all wrong is when your opponent does like a tech build where you can get a fast Raven out and then just kill you with the counterattack. But otherwise, he has to use scans. And so he can't really counterattack you when you have DTs out because he has to scan every time. Unless you do something like you saw yesterday, you save like 5 scans and then just go and win.
It's exactly like a Baneling Bomb, because every single step you make, you have to scan again to be able to continue to move. Otherwise, you're taking constant hits. DTs, one-shot Marines, they're very, very dangerous.
And right now, in fact, we don't have an engineering bay for Keen, so it's going to be all up to these scans. He does have enough for 1 scan now, and he knows these are coming. He's going to want to wall off. Is he going to be able to wall in time? I don't think so.
No, the DTs are actually going to be... Oh, no, they do get chased away by that scan. 1 DT tried to stay alive, but there's still 2 more at the bottom of the base.
Well, that's the wall off, and...
He went a little too soon.
Oh, is he going to get the depot? If he gets the depot, that'll be huge. Does get the depot. There is enough for 1 scan. Oh, man. That was close. But when the wall off is done, it's impossible for the DTs to do anything because he can just repair the depots until he has enough for a scan. Engineering bay almost done.
Yeah, so we do have 1 more DT coming in here, but that's not going to be able to do any serious damage. All it's going to do is just keep the mental pressure on of Keen. and throw away some minerals for whatever reason. However, as you were talking about before, the Nexus is coming behind this. That's exactly what NS Hoso wants to do. He wants to just keep Keen in his base long enough that he can get out a lot of chrono boosted probes or whatever else.
See, guys, nope. Sorry, DT. Like, you can try, but have to go home.
And by home,
He's
you mean
like,
that little temple over there on the left side.
He's going over there to hang out with the Manx statue in the pylon.
It's a pretty awesome statue.
I don't know, man. I don't like Manx. He's an oppressor.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here, like,
So's Torch, though. So
Torch is like putting all his propaganda. He's like, I like that statue.
Esports.
Torch is actually like a Manx supporter.
Of course. You just can't be public about it.
Everyone's gonna hate you and send you all these messages and stuff.
Hey, if it weren't for Mengs, there would be no Thors. Keep that in mind.
This is true. Are you sure, or is it Rory Swan that came up with it first?
Oh.
I don't know actually who came up with it first. I know Minx made the big like Odin first, but who made the Thor first?
Well, I thought the Thor came after the Odin. Anyway, we're gonna have to play the campaign again.
Oh
Campaign's
man,
got a lot
I don't
of
want to do
really
it, man.
nice,
I already played it twice. I don't want to do it a third time, man.
I played it like twice in the first week. Anyway,
and this DT is just like nonchalantly killing Marines as they walk by.
yeah, trying to keep that pylon alive as long as possible. You don't, as a Terran player, you don't want to have pylons close to your base because then you always are afraid of something being warped in behind you. Even if it's a Zealot or two, it's just something you always have to worry about. However, vanvanth knows that one pylon might go down, so make two. He's got the other one by the gold to be able to
this is
continue
really
to get
cool.
DTs.
He's going to make this DT on hold position behind the mineral line so they can kill SCVs, and there's no turret close enough to spot for that. He does have scans, but,
but you also need the units to be able to kill it.
Oh, that was nice. Killed that refinery that was just started, so it didn't have that many hit points.
But we do have a drop coming in here right now by Keen. 2 medevacs full of units. They're going to be able to take down the Twilight Council maybe before the Zealot charge does finish. If he can do that, that'll be huge.
And he will. Did not finish.
Did not finish?
Nope.
Wow. Okay. Very nice time. He's also going to be able to take down the Dark Shrine if he wants to. Yes, he does. And if he wants to again, he can just
like
pick up
end
and
the
leave.
game. Oh, actually, you could just kill all these units, I think. Like, he actually just can. Sorry, Bonbons. That's going to be that for that army.
And that is his main
That
army.
is his
Actually,
entire
on the
army,
field.
like,
There's
he-
1 Dark Templar, 2 Zealots, and 1 Sentry left for vanvanths. Meanwhile, there's 2 medevacs, 10 Marauders, and 6 Marines. These units are not going to die anytime soon. There needs to be another round of warp-ins like we're seeing right now, but it's only 3 Zealots. There's not enough gas out here. Well,
Kill some probes.
Wait, there is enough gas. What is it? Why is he warping? He's only warping in Zealots. There's no way to shoot these sentry or shoot these medevacs except for that 1 Sentry, which only has a water gun. Oh, still alive.
1 hit point left on that sentry.
Now 0. Very
Oh,
successful
man.
drop out there by Keen. Did exactly what he needed to do. That's going to catapult him into a pretty big advantage in this game. They are even on workers 48 to 48. However, the supply of Keen's up at 91 compared to vanvanth's 76. And all the key tech for vanvanth was taken out before the upgrades were finished. And he's also going to be scouting this pylon that's around the map as well. Keen's just doing exactly what he needs to in this game at every single moment.
Yeah, there's nothing that goes unnoticed by Keen. This Dark Templar over here is noticed as well. See, he saved up a lot of scans just in case there was still Dark Templar out on the map.
Yep.
Also just in case for the drop, because when the Dark Shrine was being targeted, something that Bonbons could have done was warp in DTs to defend, but he decided not to. And then the Dark Shrine fell, so that he couldn't warp in DTs to defend.
Yeah, it was an interesting choice for him to warp in the Zealots, which did almost nothing to the drop. He had a ton of gas.
He
so there's
also
no reason
warped
why
them
he
in on
didn't get out
top
units.
of the bio, so they just died. If you warp in like 4 Zealots and then attack with those 4 Zealots, you can defend a little bit easier. If the bio is like trying to attack a structure, then you warp the units in on top, but if they're just like running around killing stuff, you don't just go, hey, have some Zealots, they're for free.
Yeah, but it is also interesting because he did take out the Dark Shrine, so they weren't able to be warped in Dark Templar. Even now, the Forge is trying to go up to the robotics facility, so the tech path of vanvanth is changing. Meanwhile, Keen can just continue to produce units and continue to do damage like he's doing right here with these drops.
Yeah, this drop is going to lift up and survive. Keen just continue to be annoying, picking off units on the edge like that. And
a
look at this.
second drop going on in the same time at the third that's trying to go up by vanvanth. A third drop in the main. This is just a beautiful play by Keen. He's keeping in the attention of vanvanth's split. He's making sure that the tech can't go up. He's taking down the next side, so there's no sort of economy going to be being built, and it's just going to be very, very difficult for vanvanth to get back in this game.
And Keen actually going to lose. Oh, the
Nope.
dropship in the main almost
7
got taken
health.
out. And vanvanth does have charge now. He's moving forward with a very aggressive force, and Keen's units are kind of split up, but with good micro, he can deal with the Zealot-only force, and that's exactly what he's doing. Now the rest of his units joining up here. Even a Ghost in the mix he could use if he wanted to. The drop coming back for another pass, dropping behind the little smoke area.
Yeah, that Stalker, if it were over another few feet, could have stopped this completely. One shot on that medevac would take it out, but these Marauders and Marines are going to do a ton of damage as well. Meanwhile, Keen is just completely free to get the tech he needs. He's getting Siege mode, he's getting Ghosts, he's getting upgrades for his Ghost. It's just looking really, really good for Keen, and vanvanth is just trying to struggle to stay in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's losing every unit he warps into this drop. He's just like feeding the dropship. He's like, eat some Zealots, eat some Stalkers, they're good for you. I mean, literally, he is feeding the drop. I don't even know what else to say. It's like not even a funny little metaphor. It's actually just the truth.
Yeah, he's just warping in 1 or 2 Zealots at a time. If he waited a few moments, he would continue to take damage, but then he'd be able to kill everything. Instead, he's going to need to wait for his reinforcements to come.
Keen is like building supply depots in the road over here and a turret.
Huh.
He just knows that his opponent's making most of these Zealots, so he wants to be able to have those there to block.
Yeah, it also makes him very easy to take this gold expansion as his third. Keen sitting comfortably at 150 supply compared to vanvanth's 104.
vanvanth is in a tough spot. He was able to re-secure his natural, remade that Nexus. He has the third base up now. He's had the third base up longer than Keen, but he just doesn't have an army, whereas Keen has this extremely strong, mobile army.
But the thing
Got the
is,
gold.
as you were saying, because vanvanth got his third base up a little bit earlier, his economy was going a little bit longer, and is allowing him to start to get these upgrades. He has Blink, he has Zealot Charge, he almost has a Templar Archives, and he's starting to get the +1/+1 for his units.
Well,
but it's taking a little while, and that
Keen
little
already has
while might be a
1-1.
little too long, since this scary force for Keen is coming across the field.
This is going to be very difficult for him to defend. The Zealots are going to want to go up into the main, but then they're going to be hit by the units on the low ground. It's going to be very difficult. And Keen is just abusing the fact that vanvanth has a mostly Zealot army. Unpowers the gates. Going to unpower the last gateways. Maybe. Yep. Well, there's one more powered. And he's going to kill the Cybernetics core.
That's going to be huge because no more Stalkers will be able to warp in. It's only going to be these Zealots that are coming in, which can't do anything to the drops. You can just pick up your units as soon as the Zealots get close. And the Siege tanks do a ton of damage from afar. It's not looking good for vanvanth.
Yeah, it's actually looking so bad. I don't even think I've seen anything that's been this one-sided. EMPs.
Oh, beautiful EMP on all the sentries. The rest of the
GG.
forces of vanvanth are going to be completely useless.
Those were like
and
manner EMPs, man. He like EMP'd the same sentries 3 times. He's like, maybe if I EMP them enough, they'll just disappear.
You don't want them to have that one energy. They could start to get scary with that.
Yeah, they could. So Keen crushes vanvanth. It wasn't even funny.
Yeah, he did a really good job. It looked like the Dark Templars were going to be able to get in. They did take out that one supply depot. But Keen was able to keep his SCVs and the rest of his Marines on that ramp and just body block them until he got the scan to be able to take out the DTs.
Yeah, that game just didn't go well for vanvanth, to be honest. He did the DTs, he did them right, he did them okay, but then he didn't defend the drops properly, which is becoming a theme here today. Don't defend your drops right, and then you just lose.
Yep.
These Terrans that we've got in this group are just good at dropping.
Yesterday and today, 2 lessons for Protoss. Don't expand too early without scouting. And 2, defend against drops.
Well, when you defend against drops, if you have enough, if the drop is small enough to where you can warp in Zealots on top of the units and then kill the units, that's okay. But if it's 2 full drop ships full of units and you warp in like 3 Zealots next to them, you think they're just going to ignore the Zealots and then your Zealots are going to like kind of start working on it? No.
Yeah.
No, they're not. You just have to sacrifice whatever they're killing and then warp in 6 Zealots somewhere else and then attack, because then you can actually deal with it. But you know, you can't. In PvT, you can't make too many Zealots, you can't make too many Stalkers, and you can't make too many Sentries. You have to have a good mix of those 3 units. Otherwise, your opponent's just going to kite the Zealots forever. Or if you don't have any Zealots, then the Stalkers are never going to be able to even kill Marines because the dropships just out DPS, like they out heal the DPS of the Stalkers. So you have to have this perfect mix. And he just didn't. He had too many Zealots, and that's why Keen was dropping on that one location where the Zealots had to come up into the main to defend that, and then the units on the low ground were still hitting them, and he could have just lifted up if he wanted to, but he had like 3 times the supplies, so it didn't even matter. He just killed them anyways.
Oh well.
Great multitasking by Keen. Bonbons, not so much, but you guys will be seeing him again in Code A.
Yep, and so vanvanth is going to be 0-2 right now. It's going to be making it almost impossible for him to get up to Code S. Not sure if we're going to see him try to get a chance. But Keen is at 1-1, so he is staying alive, and he's going to need to face TSL alive in the next game.
Yes. So we'll see if Keen can pull it off. It's still possible for him. He's going to have to win all of his games. He's got 2 more.
He's keen on staying alive.
He is keen. Oh, I like that. We're going to take a 2-minute break, guys. We'll see you guys when we get back. Keen versus Alive.
Mr. Worldwide, pop up and greet her, pump, Peter, pump, pumpkin eater with no religion, made them.